What's up, everybody? It is the Dark Conservatarian, and I'm here with some loudmouth on the internet with an opinion. Who are you exactly? Sorry, I was just putting on an act right there for the opening loudmouth. Anyway,
I'm nobody, and I am everybody.
the biggest contradiction of all time. And I am also here with often guests of this show of my secondary channel, Koi Monster. Say hi, Koi Monster.
Hello there.
Wait. I just heard my mic right there. My audio?
Your audio's on. Yeah, it's on.
Wait, can you
No. Wait. 1 second. It shows that it's taking it through my webcam. Hold on a second. Anyway, introduce yourself, Koi Monster. I'm sorry if you haven't already.
I do stuff. No, I make art and review videos as of now, anyways. Gotta find a job.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Does that sound better?
Sounds fine to me.
Well, one second.
Who has a job they can offer with medical insurance? My dad's on my ass about that.
Okay, I just heard it on my browser right there, and it sounds a whole lot better. I just don't like taking audio in through my webcam. It was coming in through my webcam, and it sounded like I was talking through a plastic cup. Now it sounds more crisp through my Rode NT microphone that I am very proud of.
Okay.
It was a Christmas present last year. Ironically enough, it was from my boss, actually, because it was like an Employee of the Year reward.
Nice.
Safe to say that because of how this year turned out with how businesses slowed down and whatnot, I'm probably not going to get that very same reward, which I wouldn't blame him because it has been a slow year in business, be it with the lockdowns and all that crap.
Rather crappy year. Lots of businesses being shut down for everyone's safety.
Yep.
Came and stabbed straight face.
Yeah, we must lock everyone up until all disease goes away.
Exactly.
Got
to make sure that everybody
to go outside again.
Got to make it so that everybody is locked away until even the mildest cold goes away.
Yes, I propose that everyone be locked in a clear sanitized plastic tube for the rest of their lives. Take that, coronavirus.
Don't give them ideas, dude.
That is pretty sadistic. But anyway, so no BS. No bullshit.
More like all BS. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, he is
no
all
BS,
bullshit.
more like no IQ.
Yeah. I love it. And to join in the fun with us is Metal Doomer. Say hi, Metal Doomer.
Yeah, hey, sorry I'm late.
Hello there.
No, that's
take
all
care of
good.
some stuff. Yeah.
There's actually before we actually get on with responding to his takes on Onward, there's very quickly one thing that I want to show from Just a Robot when he did his own response to NoBS. Like,
I think I saw his video a while ago.
Well, no. There's just one particular part. I don't want to like show a whole bunch of it. I just want to show like the beginning.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Does he show that Brooks has a troll face with squirrel teeth?
Yeah, there's something like that. Let me see. Share audio. Got it. All right.
If you're watching, please pick me.
This marvel at the ugliness of that face, y'all.
Hey, that man is a Chad among Chads right there. That is a god among insects.
I'm just saying.
I just need to marvel at this masterpiece of human evolution.
Yeah, really. What was I gonna say? I remember that one picture that somebody had shared. It was like 2 or 3 years back. God, I feel old. Somebody had showed a picture when he was like just revealing his face and whatnot, and it was like a picture of him sitting on his bed with a baseball cap, and it was all fat and whatnot. And he did look pretty ugly in that picture, but I think nothing tops this picture as far as ugliness goes.
I had one of the biggest laughs I've ever had in my life because that dipshit goes around attacking other people's appearance all the time, and he looks like that. I'm like, I couldn't contain myself.
Yeah, no.
He's projecting.
Yeah, you text people who are way better looking than he is for their appearance all the time.
PSA Stitch, I bet you're bald.
Yeah, no, and randomly in his videos, he'll have like the videos of attractive women he finds on the internet, and he'll just put them in his videos. They have nothing to do with the subject matter of his videos at all.
Right, models and whatnot. Although I think that was like more to keep the attention of his audience, the same way that he does video game footage that I am seeing him doing nowadays. But that's neither here nor there.
It's pathetic.
I just want to say that this guy is so ugly that even I look better than him when I was going bald for a time. And now with me letting my hair grow out, I look better even then.
Maybe some of us like bald people.
Okay, to each their own. I mean, some people can rock a bald head very well. I personally just can't myself. I mean, it's kind of subjective on who can rock one.
Yeah, I mean, you can get arrested because the shine off your head, man, could like take down an airliner, man.
I'll take the burn. I'll take the burn, Jim.
All right.
All around. Oh god, 71000. He's still like singing that first line of the song. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Yes.
For the record, I want to meme this. I want to take his face and just make memes of Loudmouth, just like fuck him over and some shit.
I do not consent to that.
Well, no, he's your avatar.
I do not consent to that.
You don't want to be put in memes as a comparison as to how much better looking you are compared to Brooks.
No, I don't think I'm that good.
His avatar.
I don't think I'm that good looking. I'm not gonna attack. I only attack his appearance because he goes around attacking everyone else.
At least you're not Brooks, though. Yeah. At least.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't claim to be like Jason Momoa or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like he does.
I mean, hey, to your credit, Loudmouth, at least you don't have these creepy ass laugh lines that make you look like a used car salesman.
Used car salesman. Why does everyone use that as like the shadiest person they can think of?
Well, okay, snake oil salesman or whatever else that you can think of. But I just gotta say, yeah, he's got the real Anita Sarkeesian laugh lines right there. And if anybody has like watched my channel a whole lot, Anita Sarkeesian, I mean, aside from, I mean, she's overall not too bad looking, but it's the laugh lines that she has that are a real deal breaker as far as
Darkon. That is harassment, and she's going to go to the UN and complain about this stream. All right, we are going to get sanctioned by the UN. We're going to have a UN Human Rights Tribunal commemorated by North Korea, China, and Somalia are going to be talking about our violations of her human rights.
Right, but hey, at least yeah. And NoBS will stand right beside her as well, as I put him in the same category of having the ugly ass Anita Sarkeesian laugh lines.
Yeah, but let's. I'm not going to focus on it. I don't want to look at that face anymore. I don't. Get it off the screen.
Does this
just get it off?
Trigger you?
I don't want to see that shit, man. It's just. Well, I heard that. Well, I remember, in Waz Lee's video a while back. You remember he was blocking people who would like send him pictures of his face on Twitter. He's like, "Don't get me wrong, I don't want to see that shit either." I guess I can't blame him.
Really can't. All right. Someone says, "Damn, next to him, I'm a lot better looking, and I am a fat piece of shit." Well, I wouldn't have gone so far to say that, someone, but then again, I have never seen you. But if you say so. Primitive Cash. LOL, I am bald right now. Probably look better than this virgin. Referring to NoBS.
Much better.
I wouldn't know, but I'll definitely take your word for it. Primitive Cash or Crow Magnus. What does he prefer to go by the way? Koi.
I'm not sure. He's changing his name again, so
Okay.
just call him Primmy, I guess.
All right. Privy.
Primmy.
That okay. That almost sounds like a reference to something privy. I don't know. Anyways, Onward. So if y'all watched the last live stream, I was me and Loudmouth and some others, we were all reviewing Onward. And we were talking about as to how that NoBS would probably be complaining about the fact that there are strong female characters in this movie, just in the same way that he complained about there being strong female characters, like an all-female fight at one point during Avengers Infinity War, in the trenches.
A suspicious number of women in the movie, remember?
Oh, right.
That was his exact line. I remember one commenter says, "I'm a woman. Am I SJW propaganda?" Someone said, "Yes, I'm afraid you are. I'm sorry."
What? That breaks my head. That's so stupid. It breaks my brain.
Well, no, he didn't say yes. What is it? Someone else did as a joke.
Well, okay. They did it as a joke.
He didn't say yes. It was some. I think it was that What was it? That Jay Eckstein guy. Yeah, he was like. Yeah, I remember. He was the guy that Brooks lied about that one time. In the stream way back with PSA Stitch, he flat out lied about Jay Eckstein like removing a stream of his in shame. All right, said that he tried to get Brooks deplatformed, even though in the video Jay said specifically he didn't want Brooks to be deplatformed. So he just flat out lied about the contents of the video.
By the way, I just want to point out, by the way, that if a PSA Stitch ever heard you refer to him as PSA Stitch, he will harangue you forever, Loudmouth.
No, PSA Stitch, you're cool. You're cool.
No, yeah, totally joking though. But yeah, that's a serious thing. Apparently, doesn't like being referred to as Stitch, like Lilo and Stitch or something.
Blue punch buggy.
I love the impersonation right there. Oh yeah, so in that last episode of Dark,
everyone, my dog found the chainsaw.
Oh goody. Oh.
So in the last episode of Dark Sanctum, as I was trying to say, we got talking about as to how that NoBS he complains about there being strong women fighting each other in Avengers and Infinity War, and so we thought he'd probably do the same thing in Onward, and so that gave me the idea. Is there any content about Pixar's Onward that NoBS has released? And lo and behold, there is not one, but 2 videos where he goes talking about it. And it's pretty stupid. Like, it's probably not as stupid as the Infinity War video, but I mean, it's hard to top that. But all the same, I thought it was still pretty good.
The one where he said that they gave him Hulk erectile dysfunction, and they demasculated the manliest Avenger, who he thinks is the Incredible Hulk. Not Thor, not Iron Man, not Captain America. He thinks the Hulk is the manliest.
The Hulk.
Hey! If somebody like literally goes from 1,000 pounds worth of pure bulging muscle to 900 pounds of not as much muscle, that is clearly a sign of demasculinization right there, y'all.
Yeah, Hulk erectile dysfunction.
No, it's not just big bulging muscles. I mean, that's a contributing factor, yeah, but you also have to have dignity and confidence and other sorts of personality, not just physical traits, in order for you to be like considered anything worthy of being called masculine, or Anyway, also chivalry comes into play there as well, which we all know Hulk is nothing chivalrous at all.
No.
Anyway, so
yeah, it was just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. When I saw that, I laughed. I remember I was at my aunt's house. I was like in the corner. I was watching it on my phone, and I just laughed out loud. And they all turned their heads, and looked at me like, "What?"
Wow!
Like, God, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. It wasn't his video. It was how I Think I'm Real's review of his video. I watched that, and when he played that clip of Brooks, I just lost it.
Yeah. Anyway, so to make a long story short, let's get on with it, folks. Now, obviously, you can hear it, right?
Expensive content here.
Yes.
All right.
Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we turn to talking about one of the wokest movie-making companies out there today. Of course, we're talking about...
I don't know if I would like truly agree with that. Like, are there woker movie-making companies out there?
Yeah, Netflix is significantly woker.
Oh yeah. Good point. Dear
Yeah.
white people.
I mean,
I'm saying Netflix.
I have serious issues with Walt Disney as a company, but they're not really that woke by comparison. I mean, they're a despicable company that supports the Chinese Communist Party and censors their movies to appease an authoritarian regime. But
And thanks.
Are they that woke by comparison to modern Hollywood? Not particularly.
Also,
Yeah.
thank people who work concentration camps.
Yes, they filmed a movie next to concentration camps, and then they put in the fucking credits of the movie, thank you to the organization that's currently murdering millions of people.
Yeah, so if we're like going to go off of the metric of who's the most woke, it definitely is Netflix for dear white people alone, and probably people can like hear mention a whole Miranda of other different videos that I have never even heard of.
Yeah, or Bob Chipman's a favorite movie, Cuties.
Oh yeah,
shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's progressive.
Which I have not seen.
Oh,
there will never be a review of it on my channel because I'm not watching it.
No, fuck no.
Do it without even watching it.
The closest thing that it came from me as far as a quote unquote review is that I was actually reviewing a Twitter thread by some other guy, named Ghost Jim, where he like compiled some of the more damning clips and also compiled like some of the what am I trying to say? Some of the arguments, some of the articles that were arguing for Cuties.
Ew.
But to be fair to Netflix, the recent R-rated animated series Blood of Zeus was fucking amazing. Highly recommend watching Blood of Zeus if you have access to Netflix, because that show was fucking awesome.
I'm never watching Netflix ever again.
Yeah,
I don't blame you for those reasons, but I'm saying if you do watch Netflix, watch Blood of Zeus because it was a great program.
Do they ever release that crap on DVD afterwards? Please tell me yes, so I can watch stuff without supporting them.
Sadly, if you bought the DVDs, you'd still be supporting them.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna have to stuff.
Blood of Zeus is not a film that is created by another company that they decide to use Netflix as a platform to like sell out their content to.
I believe it's owned by Netflix, but it's
owned and produced.
It's made by the same creators of Castlevania, which was also excellent. I mean, and the writing is really good. It's really adult, and it's based around Greek mythology, and it really is true to the spirit of the old myths.
A quick question before we move on any further. Like Transylvania, isn't that like a 70s or 80s movie?
Castlevania,
dude.
What?
That's Castlevania. It's based on an 80s video game, but it was a really good show.
For interrupting me.
Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of Christopher Lee's Dracula, I guess.
I was explaining that, by the way.
Oops,
I guess I don't exist. I'm just
sorry. I mean, I would suggest like investing into a better microphone or something, Koi, because I mean, I'm going to try to be as lenient to give you as much airtime as possible with all of us that have the kind of the louder mouths, pun intended, loudmouth, and the better quality microphones. But at the same time, that's one of the biggest problems of. I mean, you as a person, I like you, Koi. And I like your commentary on all these sorts of things, but the most inconvenient thing is your quiet mic quality.
Yeah, I know, dude. It fucking sucks.
Thanks, Doomer.
Hopefully, I will get one for Christmas.
I'm not as big a simp for Koi Monster as Primitive Cash.
Hey, he's my boyfriend, so of course he is.
The only thing that is good from Disney is The Mandalorian at DarkCon Entertainment. Well. This says Conundrum in the chat. you're not wrong. Well, that is good from Disney. If we're talking about like modern day, that is one, but I would also say that Onward is pretty good if you haven't seen it yet, Conundrum. Anyway,
you can count on Pixar to still make great movies. Onward, Coco, amazing movies.
Yep. And Incredibles 2, despite it not being as good as the first Incredibles, Incredibles 2, I would rather watch far before I would watch most, if not all, of the live-action remakes from Disney.
The live-action remakes are fucking trash, but Pixar still puts out some good content.
Yep. Anyway, moving on.
Disney again. They've proven to be getting more and more influenced by progressive, social justice warrior leaning politics year after year now. We've discussed these stories extensively here on the show too, like when we covered Captain Marvel last year, and a slew of other Marvel-related woke moments since then.
I don't like the idea that he is like, I'm sure that he's not intending this, but the fact that he is like putting the entire MCU catalog up on there when he's talking about wokeness, it makes it out like he is trying to pose that all of them are woke or something.
I think
or
he's trying to be dishonest, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean,
how is Black Panther woke just because it had a majority black cast? I mean, it's literally set in like an ethno state in the middle of Africa with high border walls. It's like Donald Trump's fantasy land.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? Now that I think about it, I've gone recently re-listening to the entire Unbridled Rage from Mahler of Black Panther. His biggest concerns and complaints about Black Panther had little to nothing to do with the wokeness. It was really more the film quality and the continuity and how the world building doesn't make sense and so forth.
Well, there are a few things that they're off, but I mean,
not to mention the bad CGI. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
But I'm thinking, like, in reality, if Wakanda was real and like they had technology that was far ahead of the rest of the world, if going by every other civilization in the ancient world standard, they wouldn't like retreat in isolation. They probably would like have expanded and conquered most of the world. But it's a movie. Whatever.
That's definitely one criticism that Mahler gave out. And as far as Spider-Man goes, the newer renditions of Spider-Man anyways, yeah, you can bitch and complain all you want about how they race bent some of the characters in the new Spider-Man.
Here's the thing about that.
I just want to say that I would take Indian Flash over the last two iterations of Flash that we had in both the Raimi trilogy and the the Incredible Spider-Man duology. You're saying?
Here's the thing about that. The reason why they actually did that is less to do with woke politics and more due with their deal they made with Sony. I found this from a Midnight's Edge video. See, the reason why all the side characters are all greatly changed from the way they were in the comics is because with their deal with Marvel, if they did more comic accurate versions with them, Marvel might regain the rights to, since it was in a Marvel produced movie. So basically, due to their license.
Wait. You mean Sony would get back the rights for that piece of Marvel property?
No, Marvel would. All right. So basically, the only way to prevent that from happening in the contract is they have to essentially create new versions of those characters. So Marvel would keep the rights to like all these new versions they've created, but Sony would retain the rights to the comic accurate and more famous versions. That's actually so it's all to do with their deal with Sony.
Yeah, and to be like responding to NoBS's rough, I mean, he hasn't mentioned anything about Spider-Man specifically in this video, but of course he said it in the past about how he's all like Miss almost all black female, referring to the girlfriend or the original girlfriend from the first Spider-Man. But the fact that they race bent all the characters does not in of itself make it completely woke, and especially with what Loudmouth just said there, it doesn't seem to be woke motives. Not to mention, there are a lot of good qualities that outweigh the whole race bending thing. Like, for example, like I just said a little bit earlier, I think that the current iteration of the Flash, the Indian Flash that we have right now, is a better Flash than
I completely disagree with that. I'm
talking about the movie iterations. I'm talking about like mainstream movie. I'm not taking into consideration the cartoon series and whatnot. Just for the record.
But was it? I greatly preferred Into the Spider-Verse than the Marvel ones.
Okay.
I thought it was better than both the MCU ones.
Well, the Flash doesn't show up in Into the Spider-Verse, though, does he?
No, he doesn't. I'm just saying. Overall, I greatly preferred that movie over either of them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a better movie.
Okay, Conundrum's getting my attention again. Every complaint about Spider-Man characters, race being changed, but no one complains about Nick Fury being black at Dark Con Entertainment. Yeah, exactly. That's a strange thing. I mean, no BS. You should be like complaining this whole freaking time about how they casted Sam L. Jackson for the role of Nick Fury.
I was gonna say, but it's Samuel Jackson though.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna care. Everyone's gonna be like, hell yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Instead of casting some flat top old white dude for that role, and yet everybody is able to look past that bit of comic history and think Sam L. Jackson is perfect for the role. You know?
Well, let's keep moving.
Yep.
Of course, Disney owns Marvel. And then Disney also decided to feminize and ruin the latest franchise they've added to their library, the Star Wars series, which got a new Mary Sue female lead in The Force Awakens. And then by the last...
I don't have much to disagree with this commentary on Star Wars.
Actually, I'm sorry. Brooks kind of has a point in this one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there's anything anyone else wants to say, at any point, go ahead and tell me to pause.
Last Jedi, numerous other feminist-style leaders started popping up in the movies too, and the rest of the cast was equally obnoxious and diverse as well. And even Star Wars...
No, I would say that Star Wars was more obnoxious than Marvel. There ain't no equal about it between Marvel and Star Wars.
Marvel just, well, I think they both tried to do the same thing, but Marvel just did a much, much better job at it.
Yeah.
Mostly because Kathleen Kennedy is the most incompetent producer in Hollywood history, and Kevin Feige clearly has a much better grasp at his job.
Yeah. And whatever wokeness did happen in Marvel was a little bit more subtle, whereas Star Wars was just mean-spirited and hate-filled.
Well,
particularly with Last Jedi.
Well, mostly the biggest problem with the whole sequel trilogy was just it was so obvious that they started that trilogy with no plan how to finish it. The last movie was just a hodgepodge of retcons.
Yep. I mean, to be fair,
that's a political complaint, but goddamn, was that movie a mess?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it was the story that was the biggest problem throughout the entire trilogy, rather than any amount of woke politics that NoBS or anyone else wants to talk about.
But Brooks isn't wrong here. No.
Yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker came out a few months ago, and it famously bragged about including the first girl-on-girl kiss, a small, minor, easy-to-miss moment at the end of the film that obviously was just put in there to pander to radical leftists and other alphabet peoples.
Oh yeah, those are the only kind of people who ever enjoy watching girls-on-girls kiss. That's right, Brooks. Sure.
I think Lord of Patriarchy just popped into the stream right now.
Patriarchy.
AKA War Corp 666, if anybody doesn't know.
Advertise. And well, today's story is actually very similar to that Rise of Skywalker one. You see, recently hype has been building for the next upcoming Disney Pixar film called Onward. This computer animated adventure movie, Onward, it's coming out about a week from now. And apparently Disney is getting a little desperate about promoting this one. Not surprising either, since this is a new property very few people have heard about. Only diehard Disney fans and Pixar ones and moviegoers who saw the trailer. Well,
that's an absolute. Well, okay.
That's true of all of Pixar's movies. That's been true of Up. That was true of Toy Story when it first came out. That was true of Coco.
Yeah, I mean, for crying out loud, it's because it's a new property why I got invested into it. Although, unfortunately, I did not get to the theaters on time before the lockdown shit, which that's unfortunate on my part. But all the same, I was intrigued because it was a new property. I wasn't disinterested because it was a new property. And that the same goes with a whole lot of other people. Anyway, I'm going to rewind it a few seconds.
No, just keep going.
Diehard Disney fans and Pixar ones and moviegoers who saw the trailer, well, very few people even know this film existed. And now that we're getting close to the release date, Disney is...
sounds like bull. Very few people know it existed. Bullshit. It's produced by one of the largest movie-making companies out there. People know about it.
Yeah, it only flopped in the end because of the pandemic closing down the theaters.
Yeah, and he's going to get into that, I think, in the second video. But anyway,
this thing by bragging about a so-called first LGBTQ character, similar to how they tried to get woke points and hype for Star Wars with that lesbian kiss we just mentioned.
You know what? There is one question that I want to pose throughout this whole commentary in response to Brooks. Like, is it Disney specifically themselves that are trying to highly publicize the lesbian cop throughout their movie, or is it other people who are of their own volition trying to bring attention to it?
Well, I'm sure Disney doesn't mind the positive attention from the entertainment media from it. I mean, so I'm sure they're. I don't know if they've really gone out of their way that much, but I'm sure they're not against this. But of course,
yeah.
But of course, the scene is short enough that it can easily be edited out conveniently so they can make money in Russia and China.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Brooks, throughout the entirety of this video, makes it out like it is explicitly or almost exclusively Disney's own fault as to why that they decided to go the woke route and got themselves broke because of promoting the woke.
I don't. One, that it's so little to do with the movie, and it didn't feel political. I mean, a character, a minor character in the movie briefly mentions being gay. As you know, gay people exist. That's not a political position. That's just a fact, you know?
Yeah.
And if the alphabet moment in Onward plays out similar.
Well, if I was to, let me read this. Pixar's Onward finally gets the exclusive gay moment right. Not Disney's fault. Onward review, perfectly fine Pixar movie with a bizarre twist. Not Pixar or Disney's fault. Disney announces first official LGBTQ animated feature. Okay, so that title right there, just going off by the title alone, seems to imply that maybe Disney was like fawning out their own woke stuff.
I'm sure they did to the entertainment press because they were looking for positive coverage there.
Right. Of course, NoBS being the petty asshole he is, he wants to invest too much time and fall into that.
Yeah.
Too. It's going to be a small, insignificant moment, obviously just put in there to help with promotions. And believe it or not, that's actually a best case scenario for Disney here, because if they do put their first alphabet character into a movie too much, then the SJWs are going to inevitably complain about that too. And they'll want their character to be in the movie more, and also they'll nitpick the portrayal, saying it's not right or maybe it's too stereotypical. You name it, and they'll come up with a way to complain about it. Because once you invite these liberal wolves into your sheep's den, their hunger will never be satisfied. Or perhaps you could.
Well, that would be their fault, not necessarily Disney's.
That's not the company's fault.
You're not entirely wrong here that a lot of like progressives are just that petty assholes. He's kind of right about that.
No, yeah, I don't disagree, but he's trying to like pin it on Disney. Well, a lot of this stuff on Disney, anyways. Maybe not this specifically, but I digress.
But I mean, what does that have to do with having a minor character be gay in a movie? You know.
Sorry when I played it when you were talking there.
Just keep going.
Every place SJWs invade ends up worse for wear afterwards. Now, to start things off, let's go to a trending moment from Twitter. It's called Onward features Disney's first LGBT character. Looks like Lena Waithe is the actor playing this character.
It's fucking Twitter. I mean, what do you expect? Of course they're going to fawn over this woke shit.
That's seen in this picture, and the character's name is Officer Spectre. And I think it's safe to say that this actress is an out LGBT person too, because of course actors can't act anymore nowadays. The SJW run Hollywood has.
Oh god, he's saying actors. Okay, I did not pay attention to that right there. He says actors can't act. I would argue that
that's retarded.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., even though he's pretty much retired from the MCU, he can still act, and he's gonna contradict himself a little bit later. He's going to say Chris Pratt, he's a pretty legitimate actor, but yet at the same time, he earlier said actors can't act.
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about here, to be honest. I have no idea. It's the prattling of an idiot.
The difference between writing a story and writing jokes, or like the script, and an actor acting. Like, you stupid fuck.
Exactly. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The guy's a fucking idiot.
Word salad, word salad, word salad.
Yeah.
Lonely Wolf 1980 in the chat. SJWs. Exactly.
has to get actors who are literally the same traits as their character for woke and SJW reasons. Then this response tweet from Fandom made me laugh about this too. It says, Lena Waithe will voice Disney's first openly LGBTQ animated character in Onward. It's a modern fantasy world and we want to represent the modern world. A modern fantasy world and they want to represent the modern world too? Not sure I quite understand that logic. In my opinion, it's rather ridiculous and
well, it's a modern world twist on a fantasy realm. You fuck.
Because creativity, what's that?
I mean, and also let's keep in mind that there is a possibility. I mean, people can incorporate whatever they want in their fantasy realm. I mean, that there be lesbians. I mean, you know what? This just popped in my head right now. Did NoBS like complain about the fact that in a fantasy world, like in the Orville, of where that there's literally an entire race that is literally all dudes, and they impregnate each other, and you give birth via like eggs, you know, like chickens and whatnot. I mean, is he gonna?
That kind of sounds fucked up, but whatever.
But but nonetheless, I mean, the fact that somebody wants to incorporate some LGBT elements into their fantasy realm is not a bad thing in of itself, and sometimes it is like kind of vital towards the I don't know, the theme of the story. Like in, for example, in the Orville, the Mocklin race.
Hilarious to create this whole big and wide fantasy world, which appears.
Not that I'm saying that the fact that they have a lesbian in Onward is important to the theme necessarily, but all the same,
it could have, like, if it hadn't been in the movie, it really wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference either way, and the fact that it does exist, that there's a lesbian in a modern world fantasy realm sort of thing, it's not out of the realm of possible. I don't know. Whatever. It's not out of the realm of reason. Let's put it that way.
Appears to be populated by monsters and magic and all of these out of this world elements, and then they want to shoehorn in an alphabet person who's dressed up like a lesbian cop from the real world. Not sure I quite.
What the fuck? How the fuck does a lesbian cop dress? She just was dressing up like a regular
cop.
Old cop. You fuck.
You stupid. What the fuck does that even mean? Dressed like a wow. God damn, this fucking idiot.
Wow.
A lesbian cop. It's a cop that dresses like in all pink with rainbows and shit.
Which she didn't do in the movie, and whatever. Why do I try to make sense of this moron?
Yeah, it's so stupid. She dressed like a regular cop, not a lesbian cop.
Stupid bastard.
Understand this angle. I don't know. Just seems odd to me. Just as I
just keep playing. I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to pause just so that your laughing did not turn off the video.
Sorry, just keep going.
Just keep about space aliens and magic monks, and then having them be led by modern day real world feminists, kind of like what happened with Star Wars.
where the fuck were the modern day real world feminists?
Oh my god!
Okay, here's the thing. Sexuality in of itself is not inherently political, whereas feminists would be inherently political. And the fact that they incorporate a sexuality in their property, that is not inherently political. I mean, what the fuck? L3 or whatever the fuck that droid's name was in Solo, a Star Wars story. You know, the feminist robot sort of character. You can't argue that was fairly political character.
But to be honest, the character's so over the top, you could almost see it as a parody of that ideology or supportive of it, depending on which way you want to view it. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. I mean, either way. I mean, that would be an example of a supposed quote unquote feminist.
Yeah, there's nothing like that in Onward. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. There's no political activists that make the movie cringy, that make the movie flop. Unlike Solo, a Star Wars film, where there was that robot that sort of was a drag on the movie.
Yeah, that wasn't the biggest drag on the movie. The biggest drag on that movie was the fucking cinematography. The movie's still goddamn dark. You can't see what the fuck is going on.
That is a problem, but I'm just saying it's one of the faults of the movie.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, lots of Star Wars flashbacks are coming to me when reading into this Onward project and its silliness.
Wait. I gotta rewind that a few seconds. What flashbacks?
Star Wars.
Star Wars flashbacks are coming to me when reading into this Onward project and its silliness. And they're not good flashbacks either. I feel like I have PTSD.
Yeah, because Disney was announcing a lesbian to lead their movie back in 2014 and 15 for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Totally, Brooks. Totally.
from the Vietnam War or something. Except my flash.
Oh my god.
Yeah, did he just say that? Fucking idiot. Fuck you, Brooks.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That is fucking low.
Bucktooth, troll face, dipshit. Fuck you.
He tried
That
to
was
compare
some of
himself
the
to a
lowest
Vietnam
shit.
War vet.
That is the lowest shit I've heard in a
Fuck
while.
you, Brooks.
Wow.
God. Fuck you and fuck your parents / aunt and uncle for giving birth to you. Fuck you.
Oh, shit. Moving on.
Flashbacks
Oh,
go
God.
back to the great meme war, which started around 2016, and some might say it's still going on to this day. Next, this tweet brings up how previous Disney movies had alphabet characters way before this too, like Maleficent, which plays out like a queer rights allegory.
Maleficent, you idiot.
Exactly. Look at that.
You mispronounced Maleficent, you fucking moron.
Maleficent. Well, to be fair, it might have been intentional, but all the same, it was still fucking funny. Maleficent. I think he mentions a few other characters as well that could theoretically be gay characters of some sorts.
Right.
And of course, rumors always circled around about Frozen, saying the Elsa character might be gay too. And in addition, this following tweet talks about how the Beauty and the Beast live action remake had a so-called exclusively gay moment already too, when they made the LeFou character Alphabet as well. And well, I think the greater point here is you can't trust these studios and the media when they tout things as the first woke or SJW moment anymore.
I think that's a fair point, but go on, Loudmouth.
All right, he's complaining about a gay character being in a movie where a woman falls in love with a buffalo bear. Interesting, Brooks. Interesting. Not defending the remake of Beauty and the Beast. That movie was a piece of crap, but still.
Yeah, the live action, more specifically, the animated.
The live action, the remake was crap. Yeah,
but I think his bigger point was more talking about as to how that movie studio is going out saying we're having the very first ex-minority character, when really, if you were to look back at their history, you already did that, dipshit. This is just desperate publicity.
Yeah, he's not. I guess he's not totally wrong there. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I was meaning that he has a fair point. Looking at the chat here. Lonely Wolf 1980, he gonna complain that they didn't show Frog Lady's legs being inseminated by her husband in Mandalorian. There's hentai for that. What the fuck?
I haven't seen the latest season of The Mandalorian, so I may not get that joke because of that.
Right. So yeah, there is a frog character. I mean, it's not big spoilers, but all the same. I really like as to how that Mandalorian not only brings in new alien species, but at the same time, the biggest thing that I like, or one of the big things I like about it, is that they reuse past alien species as well. Like the Quarrens, Admiral Akbar's species, the Mon Calamarians, reuse them, and the butt mouth creature that Luke runs into at Mos Eisley Cantina. Yeah, they reuse those guys. Lonely Wolf also says he's mad because lesbian cop lady made him lose No Nut November. well, he is a cave troll himself, so it wouldn't be out of the possibility that he'd fall in love with the Cyclops.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, Disney has been misleading people about this kind of stuff for a while now.
Oh, wait. One more. Primitive Cash says NoBS should be called L'Imbécile for that horrendous pronunciation of LeFou.
Yes.
He should be called that for many more shit that happened far before right now.
Yeah,
but
if he's French, he's probably already is called that.
But you're not wrong, Cash.
All
Back
right.
to the Marvel movies again for a moment. Disney has done this before when promoting them at least twice. First, it was Black Panther, which came out in 2018, which was promoted as being the first black superhero film, even though movies like Blade, Spawn, and Steel had come out decades.
Was that Disney's own fault, or was that like other third
Did
parties'
Disney ever
idiocy?
claim that it was the first black-led superhero movie?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Sure I'm sure there's some idiot on Twitter who said that, but I don't think Disney ever claimed that.
Right. Exactly what I said too. It was probably some third party.
Before it. Then Captain Marvel came out last year, and it of course tried to brag about being the first female superhero film, even though Marvel had already made Elektra.
If anything, they were trying to market it as the first female, the first MCU movie with a female protagonist.
Yeah, again, I don't think anyone claimed that it was the first movie ever that had a female main protagonist. Obviously, Wonder Woman came out 2 years earlier and was very financially successful and critically successful. Whereas pretty much every female-led superhero movie before that, though, have not been. Don't even bring up memories of 2003's Catwoman.
I mean, Disney isn't that fucking brain dead.
Yeah, that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Fuck that movie.
Many years before, and other studios made girl hero films recently, like with Catwoman or Wonder Woman as well. I think you guys get the point. When studios advertise their wokeness like this, it's usually misleading at best, and they're outright lying or hardcore omitting facts at worst, as a way to give their new projects some more hype. Now, before we move on, I do want to give this movie some credit first. Not only does Pixar Studios have an amazing track record, Toy Story, Incredibles, Monsters, Inc., and Coco are great movies, just to name a few, but also, this new Onward movie has an extremely promising cast. As this tweet from Disney itself states, the film is being led by Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Now, if that's not enough to get you out of the house and to a theater, I don't know what is. Hopefully this woke advertising about the alphabet character, hopefully that's just a fluke or a terrible side note. And in other—
It was just a fluke and a side note. Not necessarily a terrible side note, but a side note nonetheless. Shit.
Whatever.
Otherwise, very promising looking project. We, of course, also have a special place in our hearts here for Chris Pratt, who actually is one of the few based Christian, God-fearing, and pro-conservative actors out there in Hollywood today. And
Brooks, aren't you an atheist?
Right.
Brooks is an atheist. He's openly stated he's an atheist. What? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, why does it matter of what his beliefs are? I mean, Tom Hanks, I think, is a pretty good actor, and he's not. I don't think he's a Christian, but I definitely know that he's not conservative for that matter.
Yeah, but I mean,
Samuel Jackson. I don't know what his. Sorry, go on.
Him talking about being God fearing in like a positive light, like he's some kind of preacher. Brooks is an atheist. What are you talking about, Brooks? Unless you've made a conversion recently that I didn't know about, but last time I checked, I thought he was an atheist. I don't know.
Yeah, and by the way, remember, folks, Hollywood actors can't act. But yeah, he's fawning over Chris Pratt.
Yeah, except his man crush, Chris Pratt. He's the only one who can.
Yes, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord is the manliest Avenger.
Okay, let's go.
Besides the point that his acting is fantastic too. And
he just said it right there. But anyway.
Chris always puts on a good show because he's likable, friendly, humorous, and seems to be fun to be around as well. So again, hopefully this alphabet boasting is just a marketing ploy. And maybe then
it is. Yeesh.
This woke SJW stuff won't ruin what seems like it could be a very good movie with a good studio and great cast behind it too. Now, regardless of our well wishes though, we do still have more of this woke boasting to go over today. Moving off of Twitter now, let's next turn to I'm
probably putting the cart before the horse as far as my commentary or response towards Brooks here goes, because I have the benefit of hindsight being freaking December 10th of 2020, whereas this was February 26th, 2020. Like he said, about a week before it was released, but nonetheless.
Article talking about this story more. This article from today.com has more details. It's called Disney Announces First Official LGBTQ Character in an Animated Feature. So I heard. Not sure I like.
This. Oh, God. I have a feeling that this is like the article's own writing it. This isn't Disney's own fault right here, Brooks. So,
and I'm sure if Disney didn't object, so whatever. But I'm like, who fucking cares, Brooks?
Exactly.
I mean, happening in the world. Whatever.
Even without the benefit of hindsight, the whole LGBT thing was just like what you were saying there. It was just marketing, was all.
Yeah.
Seen every mainstream media news outlet and their mother ranting and raving about this, though. But let's go ahead and give them a chance and see where this actually goes. Disney Pixar's newest film, Onward, is breaking ground with a first for the Disney Pixar universe. The new animated film, set to release March 6th, introduces a self-identified lesbian character named Officer Spectre. The character, voiced by actress and screenwriter Lena Waithe, is a Cyclops
Some of this
cop
is
and
him
is
just
featured in one
boringly
scene
reading
in
the
middle of
article,
main
by the way,
character's
folks.
quest. Just one scene then, huh? Cora Ray, the producer for Onward, told Yahoo Entertainment, "It just kind of happened. The scene when we wrote it was kind of fitting and it opens up the world a little bit, and that's what we wanted," Ray added. The film's director, Dan Scanlon, said of the film, "It's a modern fantasy world and we want to represent the modern world." If you say so, Dan. But to me, it sounds like you want to represent the modern world only in ways that happen to signal to woke liberals. This is just you in your studio making a half-ass attempt to virtue signal and pander to leftists. Let's be real. Because if you really wanted to reflect the real modern world, why not also include some characters with conservative influences? Sure.
I would argue that fucking oh god, what is the bit older brother's name again?
Barley.
Barley. Yeah, I would argue that Barley was that world's version of a conservative. Like he fawns over magical traditions of their world in the same way that modern day American conservatives fawn over traditions of the past of, the nuclear family, heterosexual relationships, and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, there's your conservative character right there, Brooks.
You've got Chris Pratt in your cast on the payroll, but let's also make him a pro-life family man working a 9-to-5 job in a factory in order to feed.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what Barley would have grown up to be if there was like a sequel or something like that, Brooks. So calm your tits.
His family. We could even have a stay-at-home type mother character in the film too. And also, why don't we have someone wearing a mag?
Here's the problem.
Did you say MAGA hat? Play that.
Wow.
Let me rewind it.
Play that.
No, put a mag.
I rewound it for you a bit, but here, let's listen to it in full.
At-home type mother character in the film too. And also, why don't we have someone wearing a MAGA hat or something? Oh, I know why.
Ah, you fuck. No! That would horribly date the movie, you idiot.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, Brooks.
What? I don't see in Dumbo anyone wearing paraphernalia for the Roosevelt administration. You idiot.
Hey, Brooks. I just want to say, Brooks, you could, for one, not watch the movie, or two, you can make your own movies. You have two options.
I mean, he does have enough of a following and enough money. I assume that he could at least make his own like B movie quality
Indie
type
film
film.
or something. Yeah, he could.
And
If he did that, I'd really want to review it. If he actually made a movie, Loud reviews the NoBS movie. That would be
yeah. I could just envision it, folks. Apparently, Disney's Onward would only be a lot better if they included a Minotaur type character with a blonde wig and a very bad tan job.
Oh,
yeah. Why would you want that in the movie? It would take you out of the movie.
Also, I want to add.
We don't need bootleg. We don't need bootleg Seth Rogen.
Yeah, you want that in the movie? I don't know, like get like Photoshop and just Photoshop MAGA hats onto the characters and and burn it to a Blu-ray or something. I don't know.
By the way, we have ourselves the infamous Conundrum joining us on the stream. Thank you, Conundrum, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, go on.
Aside from work, I decided to have some fun tonight.
Cool. Well, thanks. Thank you for joining us for that. But I also want to add that, they cannot really have a stay-at-home mom because she's a single mom whose husband had died. So kind of hard to incorporate that factor into your story here, Brooks, or into the story.
This is Brooks' show. You got to know everything he says is right because the guy has a god complex to cover his small penis.
No. He's right because he went to college, bruh.
I went to college.
For the right wing makes up half of this country, we don't get pandered to one iota. And in addition, woke minorities.
I'm sure that if I was to watch other movies, I can think of other characters that sort of pander out to right wing ish.
Yeah, not really. Hollywood is pretty left wing, certainly.
Yeah, a majority of the time. But I also want to say that there's this one character from the series Dark Matter. It's a newer series. I do not know if they're continuing that anymore, but nonetheless, it's a fairly modern series. And the one character that goes by 3, I guess, he's sort of an alpha male gun-toting character. Very passionate about his guns. So, yeah, there's your right wing.
Is he depicted as good or bad?
But Onward never panders to left-wingers. It just has a character who briefly mentions that they're gay. That's not a political thing. All right.
Yeah, I want to mention
sexuality as a political statement.
Yeah.
You know something? 1 million moms must have paid no bullshit to do this.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, I only like big tits as a political statement. It's my political ideology. that makes me want to see big tits shaking in my face. That's pop political.
Right. And by the way, to sort of answer your question, Doomer, I want to say that the character that I was mentioning from Dark Matter, he is somewhat played for laughs, goofy laughs, but he also does have a bit of dignity at the same time. I mean, he's got both of his goofy and his dignified moments at the same time. I mean, he's fairly balanced in that way, but nonetheless, anyway.
Whatever.
These get way too much pandering and all the corporate and Hollywood lip service they can handle, even though they only make up a small fraction of our people. According to Yahoo Entertainment, Onward stars Tom Holland and Chris Pratt voicing the two main characters, Ian and Barley, respectively. The brothers lost their father at a young age before they could say goodbye. When Ian turns 16, their mom, voiced by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, gives them a present left to them by their late father, a 24-hour resurrection spell. The spell goes wrong and the two brothers are left on a quest to find a replacement element before the spell wears off and their father disappears again. Well, I do have to give credit where it's due again. In addition to a wonderful voice cast, this story also seems to be based on a traditional family, like a mother, father, and 2 sons family, albeit a family made up of magic-wielding monsters. But it still does have that conservative influence I was asking for, even though it's played down and not promoted in the slightest.
So to his credit, he does at least admit to what I was saying a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that's what I said last time, that it felt like a love letter to traditional families. That's what made Onward such a great movie.
Dignified fathers and, father-son relationships.
Yeah, exactly. It showed kind of like the hole that was left in these kids' hearts over losing their dad.
One of them, anyway.
And also, it's worth noting that this film is led by 2 male characters who also happen to be voiced by straight white males. Now, this is a thing that's, of course...
straight white males, because it automatically is a positive. The fact that they were played by straight white males. There's plenty of movies that did bad because of, not because of, but that had white male leads, and yet they still did bad. The fact that the leads are white males is not a good or bad, Brooks. Shut up.
He just likes to find shit to bitch about.
Yeah.
And he's made a career out of it, so who am I to judge, I guess?
You know what he wants to talk about as to he wants to talk about as to how,
what do you expect?
or whatever the male version would be. But
I mean,
was about
this
to say,
guy's got to be the luckiest man on the planet. He has the IQ and intelligence of a 12-year-old. All right, and he just makes terrible videos bitching about shit on the internet, and he earns a living off it.
Yep. What was I gonna say? Damn it! I forgot what I was about to say. Rewind a few seconds. Maybe it'll come back to me.
The film is led by 2 male characters who also happen to be voiced by straight white males. Now, this is
now I remember what I want to talk about. He likes to bitch about how this movie is pandering out to leftists, pandering out to gay people. Yet I want to accuse him of pandering out to the alt-right segment of his audience by talking about as to how the fact that there is like white males being casted in it as inherently a good thing. I mean, I can play that game too, Brooks. We all can.
Yeah.
Thing that's of course not promoted either, but it is worth pointing out because while the left in Hollywood can't stand our kind and they attack and shame us whenever possible, but at the same time the numbers don't lie either, and they will keep putting our guys in the leads of films because they know we're more popular, more likable, and more likely to bring in the big box office bucks. Another point for the Onward side here then, and I would still call it about even as of yet, perhaps leaning in favor of the bad woke advertising ruining this.
I just want to say that I think it's more coincidence rather than because of the fact that majority of movies protagonists are dudes, as to whether or not these movies are good and successful and whatnot.
Most leads are in American movies are white because most Americans are white. That's just kind of breakdown of America, you know.
It's coincidence. It's coincidence. It's not a reason as to why they're good, Brooks. Get on with it.
Though, but also at the end of the day, it's really more about what the actual content of the movie is more than anything else. And that's still
You don't say.
Officer Spectre comes in towards the middle of the brothers' quest while they head to the magical mountains. In one scene, the character and her cop partner, Officer Gore, played by Ali Wong, they pull over a driver who claims he was distracted because his girlfriend's sons have been acting up. My girlfriend me pulling my hair out, Officer Spectre relates during the scene. While this is the first confirmed instance, previously there were only speculations of LGBTQ characters in the Disney Pixar universe. When the trailer of Finding Dory dropped in 2016, the internet blew up the sight of a lesbian couple pushing a stroller through the aquarium, but the film ultimately didn't address.
Are you sure it was a lesbian couple? I mean, for all you know, for all the writer knows, even for that matter, it could have been a mother and her sister, you know, the kid's aunt. I mean, why make those assumptions?
Yeah, that's never made clear in the movie, and who gives a shit either way?
Yeah, it's bullshit. Petty bullshit.
Really?
The internet was added again when Toy Story 4 came out last year and featured a glimpse of two women dropping off a little girl at kindergarten. Well,
it was just a mom and her friend. I mean, for all you know, it could have been just a mom and her friend, like dropping off the mom's kid right before they go out to, I don't know, play a card game with their other girlfriends or something like that. You never know.
Well, I find this new alphabet cop scene to be equally unimpressive, just like these last two mentioned. In fact,
it's unimpressive, but also unoffensive at the same time.
Gushing and clamoring around the possibility of an alphabet character being in a movie like this all seems like total cringe to me. And worst of all, daring to promote with this and trying to champion these insignificant moments in order to sell more tickets, that's equally appalling. And it's really only small groups of a few SJWs who would even care about this stuff. They just
You seem like you care about it a lot, Brooks.
Precisely.
You make videos bitching about it every few times a week.
By the way, I just want to say, side note, that this is like one of the worst bits of gameplay footage that I've ever seen. I mean, I know that I'm not exactly the best at my gaming, but this is like one of the less flashy, less entertaining stuff. Surely, in your time of playing video games, Brooks, you would have recorded something a little bit more entertaining and attention-grabbing than this. Some guy like bumbling down the mountain.
Yeah, this looks retarded.
Yeah.
You probably can't get past the first level in tutorial mode.
Making their side seem bigger than it actually is, looking overinflated when it's really not. As for this line that's revealed here, well, hearing a girl character say my girlfriend's daughter, that just seems so forced and unnecessary, despite the script.
We're telling a story, making a reference of a story relating to, you know, Ian and Barley when they were posing as Buck.
He's made this video before seeing the movie. How does he know if the movie incorporated it well or not? He's talking out of his fat ass again.
Yeah. Oh, well, whatever. The Bronco, that's what his name is. What they were trying to relate to Bronco being posed as Ian and Barley was what I was meaning by telling that story, Brooks. Big deal.
Script appearing to try and make this sound casual and natural. To me, it just seems. anticlimactic though. And it really reminds me of a scene from South Park actually. There was that one episode where everyone in town was excited to watch this new cop show on TV because it was going to be the first time someone on
I just want to say I am so gripped by this gameplay right here. I cannot tell what next is going to happen. If there's going to be like some guy with a gun jumping out of one of these rocks. Probably not.
I know what game this is, but this is just bad gameplay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying, Conundrum?
I know what game this is. It's just terrible gameplay. Why are you showing this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you, Doomer. But I was meaning what did Conundrum say? I didn't hear him.
This is the best game ever. This is way better than Cyberpunk 2077.
Shill.
television was allowed to say the word shit. This happened in a South Park a while back, and back then the town watched and anxiously waited for something cool to happen in their cop drama show, but instead, in the last moment, the character simply just says, "Hey, you got some shit on your lip." Totally nonchalant and mostly unrelated to anything going on in the plot. Regardless, the South Park town hilariously cheered on the moment.
It was just a person saying shit. Of course, it has nothing to do with the story, but it's not inherently. I don't know. It's so stupid.
Brooks, you're exactly the kind of person that episode was making fun of, you idiot.
Yeah,
Making a big deal over a little innocuous little bit of nonsense. You're what that episode was making fun of.
Are you saying that?
Awareness.
Are you saying that Brooks always has shit on his lip?
That too, but I'm saying the guy has no
Shit on his
self-awareness
lip?
being made fun of.
shit on his lip and shit on his dick.
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway, I'm moving on.
Anyway, despite it being anticlimactic and somewhat of a letdown if you were actually there. And that to me reminds me of this whole bit in this new Onward movie. It's anticlimactic and just a random line that's a throwaway. And sure, some woke leftists will cheer this moment on, this mostly unimportant my girlfriend's daughter line, but they're cheering it on not because it's cool or well done or significant, but they just want to support and promote their SJW related woke reasoning because they're seeing it in.
And look, he's like staying in one place for quite a few seconds. This is, oh god, put some more quality in your editing, Brooks. Shit.
Now you're just complaining about his video game play.
Yeah, I'm triggered by how much of a fucking noob he is at editing.
A movie, so they feel like they have to support it. Later this year, Disney will officially be introducing a same-sex couple into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in The Eternals. The movie, scheduled to be released November 6th in theaters, is set to feature Haz Sleeman and Brian Tyree Henry as a same-sex couple with a child. Sleeman told New Now Next that not only will the film feature the MCU's first same-sex couple, it will also feature the first same-sex kiss as well. Can't wait. Everyone,
And I guarantee you it'll be very brief and it'll be easily editable out so they can release it in China and Russia.
Of course.
Yup.
Yeah, I feel like saying what Filthy Frank would say. Ooh, nobody gives a shit.
Yup.
It's very important to show how loving and beautiful a queer family can be. Yikes. Looks like Disney is really doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on this woke advertising stuff. That's of course motivated by SJWs and alphabet people who are being squeezed into these movies for bad reasons. Obviously, a lot of this started in the Marvel movies back with Black Panther, which, as we mentioned earlier, success.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I think it goes further back than Black Panther, dude. And Black Panther isn't really the quintessential example of wokeness in Disney.
Not even close.
Let me Google this up. What was released first, Force Awakens or Black Panther? Go on, Loudmouth.
I said it's like one of the least woke movies in the MCU. It's literally promoting a fucking ethno state that keeps out foreigners.
Okay, so Black Panther was 2018. I don't even have to search up Force Awakens because I starkly remember it was released in 2015. That movie was far more woke than Black Panther, and it came out before Black Panther at the same time. So you're just full of shit. No bullshit. No. Get the no out of your name for fuck's sake, just for how much shit that you have espoused right there.
Oh god!
I just want to bring up real quick
what kind of drug is he
Wait,
on?
one at a time. Doomer.
That's why I bring up that you don't have to be a gay. Okay, not every gay couple was associated with the LGBT. Not every gay person identifies with that group. Like, it's not a political statement to have a gay couple in a movie.
That's what I was saying. I'm like me being attracted to women is not a political statement.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand you, Doomer. It's just I use LGBT as an offhand.
No, I mean, I'm talking
shorthand
about when it comes to no bullshit.
Oh,
like,
okay.
in his
You're
case,
meaning
he's like he complaining about every like gay character like he sees, just like even if it's like a glimpse, it's like they just happen to be a gay couple. Who cares? Shut up.
You're saying conundrum?
Yeah, he's really homophobic. I mean, like to care this much about like these brief instances of a gay character in a movie, it's really sad.
Yep. Actually, go on, conundrum.
I'll say this: this guy makes Amanda the Jedi look intelligent.
And by the way, you're about to you're trying to say something, Coin Monster?
I said my existence offends him.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You're SJW propaganda.
Yes.
But bisexual female. How dare you?
Yes.
I didn't even know you're bisexual, but yeah, just being a woman alone makes you SJW propaganda.
Yeah.
Hate to tell you. All right.
Put out what they called the first black superhero movie, and now we've had the first female one, and another female one on the way. Black Widow is coming out this year. In addition,
don't go try to assume so much wokeness from Black Widow, because Black Widow is one of the most appreciated female leads by the anti-SJWs, both anti and the actual SJWs alike. So
she is a Russian spy.
I mean, don't be so on edge about that, NoBS.
It probably was Black Widow that got Donald Trump elected because she was a Russian spy. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
But that's just a theory, a game theory.
Yes. All right.
Later this year, and it's going to be the first gay movie, apparently. Just like how Onward is having the first openly gay Pixar film. Looks like 2020 is lining up to be a pretty woke pro-SJW year, especially for Disney, Marvel, and other liberal-leaning studios and productions. This
1 month later, coronavirus pandemic hits.
Yeah.
And Mulan bombed.
Yeah. Primitive Cash says, me being a furry isn't a political statement. To say being gay is political is to say furries are always political. Precisely. Mr. Merchant also says, I know people, centrists mostly, call right-wingers right-wing SJWs, but the label certainly fits on NoBS.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Mr. Merchant. I mean, I think I'm real dubbed him as that.
This, of course, is very bad and terrible to see, but it's also kind of good. It's bad for the movies, and the annoying marketing is going to get
Who's
old.
this woman?
Good for us.
I don't know. I think he's doing an outro. Hey.
It's fat material.
I guess so. Although I'm not that intrigued. Although she's not bad, she's just not my.
I just don't understand. Well, who the fuck is she, and why is she in this video?
I think he's doing an outro, but anyway.
In this show, and it gives us plenty to talk about here each and every day. What do you guys think? Should Disney's
all right? That's the end of it. Finally, an hour and 12 minutes in this stream.
Well, that video was fucking garbage. But
who the fuck was that woman?
That's a MILF he
who the
likes.
fuck was it?
That was a MILF he likes.
It's his.
That is like crush that he's signaling in his videos. Put you in my video, please love me.
Yeah.
If you guys hear me better now.
It's really weird.
Wait. Koi. I couldn't necessarily hear you well, but better. But I can hear you. What were you saying?
I was saying that's his favorite MILF.
Oh.
Nah, it's his.
Not bad looking.
It's his love pillow.
Like I said, it's his fat material.
By the way, just remember, everybody, NoBS is like a Vietnam War vet.
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
That disgrace of Vietnam War vets around the world.
They had no choice. They were drafted.
And why don't You just put a MAGA hat wearing dude in a fantasy realm.
I can believe it from him, but no, that would have been one of the stupidest decisions ever if Disney actually did that.
Yeah, no shit. Oh,
I didn't even remember exactly those takes, but I'm glad that my reaction was just as hysterical as when I originally listened to it. So, moving on, this is, of course, after Disney's Onward was released, and he's going to talk about as to how it went broke, and he's putting a little bit too much stock into things that are not related to the pandemic, when really that's probably the biggest, if not the, only factor as to why that it ended up not making a profit.
It would have absolutely turned a profit if not for the pandemic shutting down theaters.
Yeah.
Can we all just say no bullshit's the male version of Anita Sarkeesian?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty accurate.
Laugh lines and all.
But I gotta say this, at least no bullshit has a better set of boobs than Anita.
Oh.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Good shit.
Good one. Good burn, Conundrum.
Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we
Fuck you.
return to talking about the latest Disney Pixar computer animated feature film called Onward. This fantastical magic-filled adventure comedy is certainly a crowd pleaser, and it holds up to the very high standards of its producers as well. I know personally.
So you're not off to so much of a good start as far as the narrative that you're trying to sell here, Brooks. I mean, he's saying that it's a pretty good movie, but at the same time, he's going to try to put too much stock into other things outside of the pandemic as to how it did not turn to profit.
It had been a good movie, but gay people and women were in it somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe because I just saw the movie
You can
earlier.
only allow straight blue males in a movie like this.
Right. I just want to add as well. Keep in mind that line there where he said that it was certainly a crowd pleaser and it did good. Keep that in mind when he unleashes his drivel throughout this.
Today. But regardless of the film and its contents and strengths, Onward has had to face a number of challenges with its release, which we're going to
A number or just one?
talk about today again and expand upon further than what we went over in our first video. Firstly, to recap what we went over last time, well, basically, Onward was trying to get woke a few weeks ago in its press tour leading up.
Oh, yeah, it was trying to get woke. It was trying to have unreasonably strong female characters that completely make the male characters undignified. Oh, wait, that did not happen.
To the film's release, Onward and its makers decided it would be a good idea to advertise that the film will feature its first openly alphabet character. And as expected, it was just this one random character in a small, meaningless scene that was pretty much only put there to use as a gimmick to advertise this movie and try and pander to liberals. And between that shallow attempt being oh so apparent and also Disney being known to pull this kind of woke stuff all the time, well, needless to say, we were a bit worried about this project. And come to
Were we? Were we? I wasn't. I don't know what crowds you hang around. Sorry, I got a pork rind in my mouth, but I do not know what crowds you hang around, NoBS. But seriously, hardly anybody was worried about this film flopping. What do you guys think? Were you guys ever worried about this movie doing bad in ratings?
No.
I mean,
didn't give a
figured
shit.
I knew the virus was coming. I was following all the reports coming out of China. So,
Oh no, I'm talking about the ratings and whatnot. I mean, NoBS was talking about as to how that the woke thing had us so worried, and I'm all like, really? Were people really worried? I want to press X to
No.
doubt.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So shove it up your fat ass.
The only
Brooks.
thing we should worry about Disney is Mickey Mouse having sex with bats
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
in China.
find out, but apparently many were not as excited about this movie either, since it's already being considered one of the worst selling and lowest releases in all of Pixar's storied history. Now,
That does not reflect people's opinions of the movie, fuckstick.
No, the lowest Pixar movie is Cars 2.
Yeah. I certainly agree to that. I mean, that's taking into consideration the lockdown. That is not a reflection on. That is not a good consideration or reflection at all of people's opinions of the movie. So shut up.
Now, perhaps you can attribute a good amount of that loss to the ongoing international health crisis taking place, particularly in the Far East, where movie theaters
I would put all of it, or almost all of it, on that.
are currently closed, but also local American audiences weren't too excited about Onward either. Surely, and I'm pretty certain this getting woke advertising didn't help, and it's what made the movie go broke at box office too.
Bullshit.
Bullshit indeed. Like I said, take the no out of your name, BS.
Other factors contributing as well. This article from The Hollywood Reporter has more details. It's called Box Office. Onward opens to muted $40 million. The Wayback stalls at 8.5. And well, sure, $40 million is a ton of dough, but that's nothing compared to the budget of blockbusters like this.
I just want to say, what do you have to say about this, Loudmouth? Because I find him like judging the quality of Onward or the receiving of it off of opening weekend gains, that to be a very bad metric, personally.
The virus was already big in the news. People were already worried even before the theaters shut down. And even if the virus played no part in it, he has no evidence whatsoever that a character briefly mentioning that they're gay played any part in it underperforming at the box office.
Yeah.
He has no evidence for that. He's just making shit up.
He also has no evidence to where if the second weekend or third or fourth or whatever else weekend, if the virus had never happened, if the movie would have like picked up in its profits. So
right. Yeah, the thing is, a movie with a budget as high as Onward, it costs $200 million. It really needs to do well all around the world in order to.
That's another thing. International market.
Yeah, I mean,
$40 million domestically at the opening weekend. That's not that bad. That's decent. That's not fantastic, but it's okay.
Exactly. I mean, with a new product, I mean, I mentioned as to how that because it's a new product, a new franchise, as to why that I was interested in it. But at the same time, it can be a double-edged sword in that if it's a new franchise that isn't very well known, that it might not intrigue people as much as, say, the latest Disney remake, which people want to be all nostalgic for. And whatnot.
Yeah, it is kind of depressing, though, that probably even without the pandemic, it probably would have made less than that terrible Lion King remake Disney made. And that is kind of depressing that people will be so easily manipulated with garbage nostalgia bait like that piece of crap, but ignore a great original movie.
And just because people have... Go on.
And to be brutally honest, I could bring up a good point of All Dogs Go to Heaven. Yeah, it didn't do well in the box office, but video sales, it made a killing.
Exactly. That's actually a very, very good example right there, Conundrum. I mean, just because people did not see it in theaters doesn't mean that they necessarily thought that it was bad. They were just not interested at the time. Whereas eventually, I want to say that Onward will catch on to have a bit of a cult classic or a cult classic fan base.
Oh, it does. It's well regarded on Disney+.
And the other thing, and I hate to say, the other thing is you have to look at what other movies that were released around the time.
Mm-hmm. And it's also
not much was released around the time, so it didn't have much competition, but it was mostly the pandemic that caused it to flop.
Yeah.
The standard and the expectation of this highly anticipated project. So let's go ahead and read on into this article a bit more and see what else happened. Family animated offering Onward opened to a muted $40 million from 4,310 theaters in North America, one of the lowest nationwide starts for the storied Pixar brand. The film, which earned an A- cinema score, follows two teenage elf brothers, voiced by Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, who embark on a quest to discover if there is still magic out there and if they can use it to bring back their late father. Dan Scanlon, who directed Monsters University, is behind the film and wrote the movie with Jason Headley and Keith Boonen. Pixar's openings include 1995's Toy Story, its first release, grossing about $29.1 million. 2015's The Good Dinosaur got $39.2 million, and 1998's A Bug's Life, which first bowed in one or two theaters before breaking wide over Thanksgiving with a 3-day gross of $33.3 million, and roughly $40 million for the long holiday frame. So it looks like, aside from Pixar's first releases and The Good Dinosaur,
I do want to say that there possibly is a contributing factor as to the lockdowns, or excuse me, the pandemic did kind of scare people away from actually wanting to go to a place that would be so highly exposed of people possibly.
Places being forced to shut down anyways.
Yeah, I mean, so, and of course, with all these other movies that he just mentioned, there was no looming dark cloud over people's head of there being a pandemic or whatnot. So I don't think it's quite comparable.
Dinosaur, this Onward debacle is on par with its lowest of lows. This is particularly.
I also want to say that those movies, they all did like under 40 million, whereas Onward did at least 40 million. So it still did better than those properties in its opening weekend.
If you adjust to inflation, no, it didn't.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Duh.
Interesting, since from what I remember, The Good Dinosaur had a somewhat similar story too. It was basically the classic Disney Pixar setup at this point. Usually one parent or both die, leaving the children stars of the movies to grow up out without them. This happens in Onward, and it happened in The Good Dinosaur, and numerous other Disney-related children's films too, like The Lion King, Tarzan, Mulan, Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Little Mermaid, Cinderella, Bambi, and this is just the beginning of a long list of these kinds of Disney animated films, which prominently feature younger main characters tragically losing a parent. Now,
that's like one of the.
That's the Disney formula right there. Hell, Cinderella lost her mother and stepfather.
Almost as if seeing characters overcome adversity is compelling, whereas if the character had nothing but good stuff happen to them, the movie would be fucking boring.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The movie The Emperor's New Groove.
You're roboting very bad, Conundrum.
Oh, sorry. Let me fix that.
You were mentioning The Emperor's New Groove, I think?
Yeah, The Emperor's New Groove. Let me put it this way. The guy was all spoiled, and he had to overcome adversity from being a spoiled little shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whereas all the other movies, they had like... Emperor's New Groove and all the other typical Disney properties all lost their parents. The difference would be as to how that they handled the loss of parents. Emperor's New Groove... Cusco decided to become a spoiled brat. Cinderella, she ended up being a slave, basically. Simba, he ended up becoming a hippie with some vegans, basically.
He went The Lion King was basically Shakespeare's Hamlet with talking animals.
Right.
Yeah, or Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Okay, I sort of forgot that this is like the other thing that he puts too much stock in as far as how it is that Onward did so bad. He mentions the lockdown, yeah, granted, and obviously me personally I would say that's almost the only thing that was really a downer, a drag on Onward. But at the same time, goes mentioning the fact that, Onward goes playing the stereotypical formula of Disney, that being that the main protagonist, they lost one or both parents. With modern day cinema, it's really hard to avoid like repeating anything of any movie that did well in the past and whatnot. I mean, it just depends on how you handle those sort of stereotypical formulas. And I think that Onward handled it in a new route.
Yeah.
They lost their dad, but they still had a chance to bring him back, possibly. I mean, no other movie did that. Not really. But only for a short amount of time, too, might I add.
Yeah.
They handled the whole lost parent theme in a new light. Mr. Merchant in the chat says, I would gladly debate no BS on libertarianism versus conservatism, but the main question is, could I handle his stupidity for an hour or more? That'd be
I'll guarantee you what he'll do. He'll deflect every point. He'll just say, I don't care, debates are gay.
He'd probably try to...
Look what he did to Destiny.
Right.
Yeah, you're dumb, bro. You go to college.
Okay, now, you know what? One other thing that is really a big flaw and annoyance on NoBS and trying to debate him is that he always tries to guilt trip you.
Yeah.
in some way or another. Not only is he fucking stupid, but he also always guilt trips people by, oh, you're saying that I'm a bad person. Really? I'm not a bad person. And he does, okay, in the moment of a live stream, like the PSA Sitch live stream and even the live stream with Nicholas Diorio, he tries to come off as some down-to-earth, well-meaning guy. He puts on that veneer, sort of. And in a way, he's sort of successful in that. But at the same time, people look at NoBS's past and realize that is just fucking manipulative. But at the very...
That he constantly lies.
Yeah, exactly. But in the very...
So often.
But in the very raw current moment of when he's on stream, he still puts on that nice guy veneer. At the same time of trying to guilt you, of trying to say that he's a bad guy or whatnot. You're saying,
put it this way, No Bullshit would be a great travel agent because he can sure sell a guilt trip.
Good one.
Now, I bring this up here more extensively because I do think this cliche is another part of the reason Onward is having trouble getting traction at the box office.
Nope. I disagree. But unfortunately, we'll never know that for certain because the pandemic hit us.
Yeah.
Combined with
never know.
I mean, okay, I want to search this up. How well did Onward do in all the rating systems? I mean, trying to ignore Rotten Tomatoes because they fucking gave Cuties a fucking over 80%, 90% even. But even then, if I was to just give the benefit of the doubt on Rotten Tomatoes, they give it an 88%. Metacritic gives it a 61%, which would be, I guess, slightly above average. IMDb gave it a 7.4 out of 10. 88% of Google users like this movie. See, I got right there up on the screen. So it still did pretty good in spite of that cliche story right there, Brooks. I mean, your argument just really doesn't hold up to scrutiny at all. Oh, they played a stereotype. That's part of the reason why it did bad. No, it wasn't. Anyway, here we go.
Premise with the woke advertising and the ongoing health crisis, and well, I think we can all see why this movie isn't going to fare so well going forward. Reminds me a lot of The Good Dinosaur again now too, because that was the second Pixar movie of that year, 2015, and it did markedly worse than its counterpart. Back then it was Inside Out that came out in the summer, and Good Dinosaur came out around August, I believe, later on, and the former of which was of course a big hit. Inside Out did gangbusters, but Good Dinosaur was kind of a moderate failure. And well, the problem Pixar faces this year is similar, but actually much worse if you think about it. Remember, Onward is supposed to be their first Inside Out-like hit, and it's probably intended to be the bigger release of this year like that one. The other movie coming from this studio this year is called Soul, and it has far less star power hype Onward already clearly had. So I think the way I see it now, Onward was supposed to be this year.
I do just want to say very quickly that just looking from the surface anyways, Soul doesn't look as intriguing as some of the other Pixar properties. Like
and to be honest, No Bullshit's going to complain about that because the guy in the movie is black. He's going to say, "Oh, Disney pandering again."
Anyway,
honestly, I'm actually very looking forward to Soul. It's directed by Pete Docter, who made Inside Out and Up is one of my all-time favorite movies. So I'll be seeing Soul for sure.
All right, reason enough to watch it, y'all.
There's Inside Out, but it turned out to be a Good Dinosaur, leaving the upcoming Soul to suffer an even worse fate, whatever that might be. Or who knows, Soul could be better and it could shift things and flip-flop.
I mean, we are, okay. I mean, the lockdowns are still somewhat being extended by states. I mean, depending on which state we're living in. But at the same time, I think it's safe to say that we're not as much in the heat of the lockdowns as we were back in March through May. I mean, restaurants are still opening back up, for example. And theaters, I do not know what mitigations they're going to do as far as quote-unquote COVID-19 restrictions and safeties and whatnot. But all the same,
force you to wear a mask.
Yeah, probably.
And you're going to have to get seats 6 feet apart, of course.
Some of the seats are going to be closed.
Yeah, I don't really think you want to debate political concepts, Mr. Merchant, with a guy who doesn't know what socialism is, who thinks it means just being really, really social.
Right.
Also, one thing that I love that he was complaining about, he's saying, "Oh yay, there's straight white male characters. Oh my god, there's gay characters." And then it's like, "Oh, if nothing's good enough for SJWs," and then he's like that.
Yeah.
This guy is so dumb. This guy is so dumb. He probably thinks a Fleetwood Mac is a burger at McDonald's.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I especially loved. He was trying to pass his terrible performance in that debate that he was just trolling those high school kids who made him look stupid. Yeah, Brooks, you were just pretending to be retarded.
Hey, I have to go charge my phone, but I will be back. Just I have to charge. I have to turn off my phone to charge it. So yeah.
All right, have a go.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'll be back in a sec.
All right, try to make it back quick, because I do not know if we're going to be still here by the time he gets back. I'm trying to see of how open that theaters are.
Doomer, save your brain cells. Don't come back.
Yes.
Right.
Also, sorry for not talking much,
Yeah.
but it's hard to get close.
Well,
to
we can
the
just
mic. I
say-
don't have much-
Wait. Jim, Corn Monster was talking right there. You were saying?
Sorry for not being able to say much, but considering I just don't have much to honestly comment on him except for that one thing, and my mic being garbage.
Yeah, it's getting kind of staticky slightly now as well.
That's my
Going
part.
ahead.
Popcorn.
You're saying Loudmouth?
I was just saying, well, we can just assume he's also pretending to be retarded in every video he's in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. If he's pretending to be retarded, he has to get an Oscar. Because I actually thought he was actually retarded.
Mr. Merchant in the chat says compared to a parking ticket.
So
I guess
Well, what if I tell you his arguments is similar to a parking ticket?
we'll have to wait and see. Next, I want to shift gears.
Shift gears as you go to your shitty gameplay footage. Although I think it's not as boring as the last one, but anyway, doesn't matter.
Myself, we've done more than enough tearing down and breaking down of this movie Onward and its flaws. Now we're going to actually discuss it a bit more
when
favorably.
did he do that?
Go over
What?
When the fuck did he do that? He said he tore down Onward and its flaws. When the fuck has he done that?
Also, he didn't actually go over the movie.
It's him stroking his ego, Loudmouth. You got to keep that in mind. He's got a massive ego. He's got to stroke it. Keep it big. Oh, jeez, that sounds so dirty.
Yeah,
Coming out of my mouth.
his ego is compensating for something.
Yeah. Actually, I do want to say that this gameplay footage is a little bit more exciting than the last one, but anyway.
Yeah.
for the movie in premise and summary itself a little bit more, giving you my thoughts in a brief review, and then we're going to wrap things up by talking about the news story, where this movie was actually just recently banned in 4 countries, believe it or not. More on that later, but first, let me give you a little review of the flick. I saw Onward earlier today, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. I had almost given up hope on this movie too, since those woke ads came out and left.
Well, then you put way too much stock in LGBT people, you faggot. Anyway.
Apple wasn't gone too long.
No, not really. He just gone showing us that how much he's going to put too much stock into movies having gay characters.
Oh, okay.
Oh well. The only reason why he hates gay characters so much, he's in denial.
He's probably going to accuse us of strawmanning him with that line, as he'll later be claiming something that's somewhat friendly to gay people. But anyway.
Taste in all our mouths. In fact, I even skipped seeing Onward on opening weekend, but today I saw it a few days later in an afternoon matinee, and I think it was definitely worth our time. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, of course, do an amazing job of creating funny voices and a good buddy kind of dynamic that also carries over well into the family drama of this too. The animation is great as always from Pixar, and even I really enjoyed and appreciated the unique new world they brought us to. Basically, in this story, we're taken to a world where magic magic has been real for a long time, and elves and mermaids and unicorns and other fantasy creatures all live together in harmony, mostly. In fact, the movie takes place well after magic was discovered, and now all the creatures kind of gave up on it, and they're all living in this fantasy version of a pretty American-looking city, looking something like Los Angeles and suburbs similar to that. Also, I would think of
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of. I don't know if it would reminds me of Los Angeles.
I was afraid he was going to. I was afraid he's going to say San Francisco or Seattle.
I probably would have thought more like someplace up in Wyoming, actually. Yeah, with how mountainous it is, it actually reminds me a little bit more of Wyoming than of Los Angeles.
the movie Zootopia, which was kind of similar. But instead of having animal characters in a fictional city, this Onward film has monster characters and mystical elements and magic and quests and what have you. And aside from mentioning the strong family dynamic and how they really pull at your heartstrings with the dead father stuff and, well, put that all together, and they actually made a very funny, interesting, good-looking, and entertaining film. A film any fan or interested party or people with children could really enjoy. Now, with that said, again, aside from the woke advertising and the played-out dead parent premise, Onward really is pretty damn good. Not the best or anything either, but I did enjoy watching it. Particularly Chris Pratt, our boy. He was performing at the top of his game for the whole movie, giving us his classic sense of humor and his lovable personality too, as always. Love that guy. In fact, the only bad moment that stood out to me in the film, well, it only happened because it was a scene that the woke advertising tried to hype up too much.
Yeah, I just want to try to power through this because there was a good portion of this video which it's just boring drivel. But he's going to mention something that almost comes off as double speak here in a little bit.
All right.
Shouldn't have. As expected, that whole first gay character thing was just a small gimmick, and the so-called lesbian cyclops that was in the film, they were only in there for literally one scene, maybe like 2 minutes tops. Regardless, this is the pivotal point that the producers decided to use as their advertising trick, and they're obviously paying for that mistake dearly to this day, because not only does woke BS like that turn off average viewers like us, but also promoting pro-alphabet people stuff in one market and area might be helpful here, but it can prove to be detrimental in other regions of the globe. That brings us to the final part of today's story and the climax of today's video. After advertising their woke new character and releasing in the US and Europe, well, now Onward is facing new challenges as it comes out in the Middle East. Apparently 4 countries there are banning the film now because of that one
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
gay scene that they chose to advertise too much. And as I said before, it's a very small thing.
Is it because of them or is it because of the rest of the internet? I mean, I'm sure that Disney made some announcements about it, but the rest of the internet, third parties outside of Disney, are the ones who blew it up out of proportions, Brooks. I don't think it's Disney's fault in that area necessarily. And not to mention the fact that they try to edit the gay shit out of their movies in order to market to those anti-gay, homophobic countries.
Yeah.
So it's not Disney's fault. If anything, they would have tried to do stuff to mitigate that kind of backlash.
Thing that most people might not even notice. But since Disney chose to advertise and dwell on it, and well, them pointing it out cost them box office money in these countries it's now banned in. Not that it should be getting banned though. While we might laugh and welcome some failures for a corrupt and woke company like Disney here, but at the same time,
oh yeah, because they put a brief lesbian piece of dialogue in a movie that apparently is a sign of Disney being corrupt.
Yeah, aside from Walt Disney being propagating certain propaganda.
I mean, the Walt Disney Corporation is corrupt, but not for this reason.
Yeah, no shit.
Precisely.
I mean, what they did in the making of Mulan was beyond despicable.
Yeah, go ahead and thank somebody who ran a concentration camp. Who don't dare put lesbians in a movie.
Yeah, we are woke and we support human rights while we're thanking people who are literally committing genocide against people for their race.
Oh, it's like all these virtue signalers are actually horrible people. Who would have thought?
Yes, fuck the Walt Disney Corporation, fuck the Chinese Communist Party.
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
time, of course, countries shouldn't be banning films because they have gay characters. This is obviously coming from anti-alphabet sentiments in those regions, which are
Okay, so
Wow.
here's
No
the
bullshit. You sound woke right there.
wow. I think you're onto some conundrum, but no. In all seriousness, this is the point of where I'm thinking that he's getting to double speak. Like on the one hand, he's bitching too much about how that Onward is having a lesbian character, but at the same time goes later on saying, oh, but it should be allowed in other countries. Like,
I don't really think that's double speak. I mean, saying you don't like something but saying it shouldn't be banned is not a contradiction.
yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not really a contradiction so much, but it makes people sort of,
Do a double take.
almost suspicious.
Yeah, I don't really. I have no issue with that. I don't think that's a contradiction. I dislike Brooks intensely as a person, but I really have I don't see any contradiction with those two views.
Oh.
I don't know. It just makes me suspicious that maybe he's just grifting, that he doesn't really believe in those gay liberties, country should not be banning that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I don't know.
I know enough about Brooks as a person to know that he doesn't practice what he preaches and that he's a dishonest individual, but I still don't see anything fundamentally dishonest about those statements. I don't know.
Maybe. I think
sure that there aren't. It's not like there are past statements of him saying, "Oh, we should be banning the gays or whatever," or we should not be giving a shit about China killing gays or Saudi Arabia killing gays or whatever. But at the same time, he said that we should be having a white ethno state is okay before, whilst at the same time modern day saying no, I never advocated for a white ethno state. So I guess all I'm trying to say is that I would not put it past Brooks if he really is just playing it, just doing some pandering, whilst at the same time, what he really believes is some slight anti-gay sentiments in the legal side of things.
I don't know, but what I say is Brooks a dishonest individual. No shit, he is.
Yeah,
indeed. So on that note, we'll continue.
Yeah.
are clearly bigoted and wrong. So while I was against Pixar adding in this character for the wrong reasons, I'm also for them to do it if they want to do it. They have the right, and they should be free to make movies how they want. And those films should be released in any country that wants to take them. Now, of course, those countries also have the right to ban media they don't like too, but in this case, they are certainly doing so for bad and wrong reasons.
That's the government, not the people.
He's only doing this for. I just say he's doing this for clout.
I mean, they have a right, quote unquote, to govern themselves. If you're going to be talking about national sovereignty, of course, but at the same time, I would not frame it as a right that a government has a right to ban XYZ practice of innocent people.
I'm saying that he's clout chasing at this point.
Yeah.
Isn't that essentially what we're doing right here?
Hey. We may be a bunch of whores here, but at least we get paid.
Hey, I'm a good Christian girl.
Yeah, no, you're right, Loudmouth. We are basically just mostly having a laugh here. It's not like I'm going to try to.
I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just thinking it's funny.
I'm not. It's not necessarily like I'm going to crusade after Brooks for like the next few weeks. But anyways,
we're just picking on the special child here, everybody.
Yeah,
precisely. Yeah. We're just picking on some low IQ, low hanging, or as Red Feather would have put it, fruit. You remember that quote, Loudmouth?
The mentally challenged.
I remember.
Right.
Details on the banning. It's called Pixar's Onward, reportedly banned by 4 countries over first openly gay character. This should be good. Let's go ahead and check it out. Pixar's Onward has been celebrated for becoming the first film in the studio's history to feature an openly gay character, voiced by openly lesbian actress Lena Waithe. But according to Deadline, the film is now facing a ban in Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia because of the film's LGBTQTUING representation. Onward.
I just want to say that those aren't very populous countries that he mentions there. So it's not like if Onward was not banned in those countries, that it would have had a very big impact on the box office. So, not a very good example for your argument, the narrative that you're selling here, Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'll give Walt Disney Corporation credit that they were still willing to go through with it, even if it would lose them some international revenue.
Yeah.
That's something I'll give them credit for when they do.
They don't put their money where their mouth is. They have the one scene that's easy to edit out, just like with Star Wars.
Right.
I mean, it's not like in this example that you're pulling right here, Brooks, that Onward was banned in the UK or Germany or France or Canada or even China. Anyways, that is being explicitly shown here. Anyways, I mean,
yeah,
it's not
but
like
it was edited in China. They edited out the whole lesbian moment.
precisely to avoid the banning. But those are more populous countries that would have a little bit more impact on the box office as to whether or not they're banning there.
What is? I think Saudi Arabia has a pretty high What is Saudi Arabia's population? Population. I'm looking it up. 33 million people. Not too high, but I don't know.
I think.
Plus,
I'm curious about
if
you,
we're going
United
about
Kingdom.
Saudi Arabia, hell, even the World Wrestling Federation has problems in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It's 33 million. Population 66 million in the United Kingdom. Okay.
Let's just keep watching the video. Whatever.
All right.
Where it focuses on two elf brothers on a quest for magic and mentions Waste's character's sexuality only briefly, a fact that has earned it both praise and criticism in Hollywood, with critics suggesting the studio's representation of LGBTQ people is still miles behind its competitors. During a scene, the two lead characters voiced by actors Tom Holland and Chris Pratt have a conversation about parenting with two female police officers, at which point a purple Cyclops officer named Spectre, voiced by actress Lena Waithe, says, "It's not easy being a new parent. My girlfriend's daughter got me pulling my hair out, okay? Well, I hope it was worth it then, Disney. You had a small, insignificant wannabe woke moment which could have squeaked by without much notice if you hadn't brought so much attention to it. In fact, I think it would have went over worlds better if this scene and story came out organically later on after the fact. Then it could have been seen as the cute side note it really is, but instead, Disney championed this small bit too much and tried to make it this ground.
Did they or did the third-party internet keyboard warrior woke SJWs actually champion it?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, no bullshit. He's good at getting the quarterings leftovers.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Quartering leftovers.
First of its kind, and now they're eating crow because of this. But also, as stated earlier, these countries banning the movie are certainly taking it too far. Banning any movie just seems fashy and old school to me, and doing so based on an alphabet-related character and scene that clashes with your backwards regressive ideology, well, that makes things far, far worse. So really, despite Disney doing their best to take the blame and screw things up, really, these countries banning things are the ones who need to be chastised now. Those Middle Eastern places are also where social justice warriors should be directing most of their ire these days. For all their talk about America being racist and sexist and anti-alphabet and pro-certain races, well, they're kind of obviously ignoring the bigger issues in the world. Countries in the Middle East are banning and doing far worse to alphabet-related things right now in our faces. But somehow the U.S. still gets all the...
Which is a fair point. I mean, Disney does not do enough in regards of criticism towards other countries, or at least not standing up for their principles in spite of what other countries might do.
It's a Christmas miracle. No bullshit had a valid point.
I mean, a broken clock strikes twice a day.
And that's
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's not wrong there.
His brain grew 3 sizes.
He's absolutely right that the left are massive hypocrites, focusing on trivial domestic issues while ignoring bigger ones overseas.
And that day, no bullshit's brain grew 3 sizes bigger.
Yeah. But there was actually a point of that in that South Park episode, Banned in China. There was a line where this producer says, "Come on, no one has ever objected to China approving our entertainment. Even the PC babies don't seem to complain. And they complain about everything."
Even the what babies?
The PC babies, aka the social justice warriors. South Park refers to them as PC babies.
Oh,
so that was a shot. That was a shot at them for ignoring pandering to China and their incredibly regressive policies.
Capiche, are you reducing Italian culture to intimidation tactics?
Huh?
I guess I don't get that reference.
PC cop or whatever the heck it was from South Park.
PC babies.
Yeah, but there was that one PC guy there who said,
PC principal. Yeah,
PC principal. That's it.
Well, the PC babies, they're this group that cried whenever you didn't pander to regressive left ideas. That was kind of the joke with those characters.
Hey, you really didn't watch South Park when you get the chance, newer seasons.
Okay. I'm not so sure if I'm that intrigued, but if somebody gave me a box set of it for Christmas or something, I certainly wouldn't refuse.
I mean, if you have Hulu, they're all on there.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they are.
Yeah,
maybe I'll tune in every now and then.
That fake commercial at the end of the Band in China episode was hilarious. It was it ends with this fake weed commercial with all these scenes of all these Chinese atrocities. They're like, we Chinese like things the old-fashioned way. Because after a long, hard day of forced labor or being beaten for criticizing the government, couldn't you just use some nice Rocky Mountain weed?
Please, this just goes to show how out of touch and biased and anti-American these haters really are. In Russia, the scene was reportedly censored by changing the word girlfriend in the line to partner, as well as removing any mention of Spectre's gender. Other Middle Eastern markets are showing the film, including Bahrain, Lebanon, and Egypt, according to the report. Onward began its run on Friday in North America and topped the box office chart, making $40 million on its opening weekend. And well, again, a $40 million opening weekend is nothing to scoff at, sure, but also keep in mind that's barely a fraction of this film's budget, which could range between $100 or $200 million.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Barely any movies at all immediately make their profit on just the opening weekend alone.
Particularly only domestically and only the opening weekend. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
the only movie that ever did that was episode 1, and that sucked ass.
Was episode 1 of what?
Star Wars.
Oh, you talking about A New Hope? Or are you talking about Phantom Menace?
We're talking about.
Ah, okay.
Depending on marketing and other factors. In the end, the points of today are many, but let's summarize them once again, as they all go together well and make a very interesting picture for this Onward story. Sure, the movie basically...
I think your picture is just painted with shit.
And the other thing is, with box office things, the other thing is merchandise sales.
Yeah. I mean, really, I'm not... With everything you said throughout this video, your picture doesn't look very pretty. Especially considering as to how... Yeah, I mean, it's just purely the lockdown, dude. It's not the stereotypical dead parent storyline. It's not the lesbian anything. Yeah, just... no.
Sorry, I've had a really terrible connection.
Brooks, a blind man can paint a Rembrandt picture while you are still drawing stick figures.
Yeah, that is exactly how bad his point is.
Flopped already, especially compared to other Disney and Pixar releases, but it also made over $40 million too. And it not getting so popular can be attributed to a variety of reasons, not only its getting wokeness, but first and foremost, I would say the woke marketing is what threw things off. And then they had this cliche story and now a new premise to deal with and sell to the masses. Finally, although we hated the woke pro-alphabet scene promotions about,
you hated it and your cultish fan base. Everyone else just pretty much didn't care. Yeah. Or, okay, there was the minority that did care to where that they hated it, and the minority that cared to where they liked it. But all the rest of the people, the majority of normal people, care.
About it. We hated it as much as the next guy, but it is still very weak to ban the movie from your...
Oh, God!
Who is this chick?
Is that the OK Boomer girl?
LK Boomer girl?
Yeah, that's the OK Boomer girl.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, what's that chick's name? I fucking forget. She's that chick who got attention because she said encouraged guys to simp for her or shit. Yeah. Yeah, Brooks,
and he's
why are
doing
you putting her in your video, you fucking perverted son of a bitch?
No. I think no bullshit's confirming that he's a simp.
Yeah, she's not gonna fuck you, Brooks.
of something like that. Obviously, that's some regressive, antiquated, old school shit that wouldn't fly in the Western world. What do you guys think? Did Onward go broke because it got woke? Or were other factors more important? Or perhaps
Other factors were more important. One of them specifically.
What's
Pandemic.
the point of this? I'm sorry, but what these random chicks at the end of the video? What's the point?
He's just trying to get his fan base to pay a little bit more attention to his video, or he's trying to make them rack up the
stupid,
view
though.
time.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm starting to draw a parallel between Brooks and AIU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the character.
No.
Awesome.
He's
Unstoppable.
trying to.
The using of the attractive women randomly in your videos that have nothing to do with your topics in order to attract viewers to your channel. That is a common tactic. Yeah.
He is just trying to like.
The avatar.
He's just trying to wait. He's just trying to rack up the view time on his videos by his own fan bases jerking off at this girl's rack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, Boomer.
And the other thing is his animal avatar.
I don't think that's.
It has that AIU vibe to it.
I don't know
okay.
if
I see what your point is now.
Well, I see the similarity, but I mean they're not the only two who do that. That's kind of a common thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
added up together, and it's kind of hard to pick out which one did it in. Comment your
What do you mean it's hard? Well, and you, sir, are a fucking idiot. If you think it's hard.
I just realized she has a Pepe the Frog thing back there.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that too. But yeah, so that was the dumbest man on YouTube, y'all.
Yeah.
Brooks, no bullshit, Heatherly.
Well,
His last name is Heatherly. God, that's a girly name.
I have a theory that the name Brooks I thought was a girl's name. I have a theory on that. I think he's so poorly endowed his parents thought he was a girl when he was born.
Thus, that is why that he. That explains a lot. That explains why he tries to
Yeah.
always pose as this alpha male. Like he said to Destiny, "You are talking to the ultimate alpha male."
Well,
Welcome to the gun show,
that's
baby.
not what he said. He said, "You're looking at a true red-pilled alpha motherfucker. Look at the gun show."
Yeah,
By
Drake.
saying that, you're not alpha, in my opinion.
Yes, alpha males don't go around calling themselves alpha males.
Mm-hmm.
So
I need a
yeah,
drink
I agree.
after those. I
But-
just need a drink.
It's all obviously a compensation for how his, like you guys said, about how his parents gave him such a feminine name.
Yeah, but yeah, both of those videos were just terrible. I mean, it just two videos of him whining about a 30-second scene in a kids movie where a character briefly mentions being gay. It's just it's fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It was insufferable. How does anyone listen to this guy unironically? Like, why?
God, stool
I don't
softeners
know.
are stool softeners are more enjoyable than his dribble.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
nothing-
jeez.
There was no substance in any of those videos. But that's why he has to like put random women at the end of his videos because to get people to finish them. I guess I don't know.
His videos remind me of the Travis Scott meal at McDonald's. Not enough filling sustenance, and it turns into liquid diarrhea at the end.
Ew.
Oh, gee. Yuck. I concur, Koi Monster. Yuck.
Yeah.
Ew.
God, Trainer McCurry makes more sense than him.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
him
go-
comparing himself to a Vietnam veteran. God damn.
Yeah.
I thought, did I hear that right? You stupid son of a bitch.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm getting PTSD flashbacks, like I'm a Vietnam War vet.
God,
Or
a lot of
something.
people, a lot of Vietnam vets would love to have a talk with him.
Oh God, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Prideful.
Oh man. Or
Yeah. Most positive attributes cannot be attributed to oneself, says Crow in the chat. He also says the prideful call themselves humble, the evil call themselves innocent angels.
That is true.
That's
That's
true.
absolutely true. And Brooks will never admit fault on anything. He will always deflect, or he will just flat out lie if you bring up something he can't justify. And he's not good at justifying things because he's incredibly fucking stupid.
That's probably why he has a failing marriage.
Oh, no.
Oh, ouch.
Does he really?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that probably in the future, that's why he's going to have a failing marriage.
I don't know if I would. I don't know. I don't know.
You know me, Darkon. I'm the guy who will hit the low blow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the man's personal life. I just know that his videos suck and he's a lying scumbag.
To Conundrum's credit, there was the last live stream that we did respond to him before that we were poking fun at the fact that he had a wife, saying that she's probably a mail order bride or something.
Oh, I did a worse joke than that. I did the whole baby wait. You didn't show me your surprise. I don't know if you got that joke.
No, I gotcha.
Yeah, it was a reference to an episode of Futurama where
okay.
Zach Brannigan's at a meal with like an obvious tranny who has a 5 o'clock shadow, and she leaves, and Zach Brannigan says, "Baby, wait, you didn't show me your surprise."
Okay, you didn't show me your surprise. I thought that was supposed to be just a reference, a dick reference.
It was.
Yeah, that's the only thing that got from it. I never, like I said,
but it was also referencing an episode of Futurama. That was the joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But
funny enough, the inverse. Cash also says in the chat, or Crow, whatever. Funny enough, the inverse can be said. Good people see their flaws more than their accomplishments.
That's also true. Yes.
Yep.
Humility is a good sign of a good leader. Humility is very good. Problem is, a lot of people just view it as weakness.
No, like Yoda, the only good line in The Last Jedi is what Yoda said. The greatest teacher of all is failure.
Oh, if only that's what they applied to the plot with Ray there.
Yeah, good point. So anyway, I think that is pretty much where we are going to end it off. Is there anything else that you guys would like to say?
I need a drink after those two videos.
Yep.
Now it makes my life working at doing surveys a little bit more fun because I now know there's more stupider people than ones that ask me for directions in a mall that the map is right 5 feet away from me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, your job is a whole lot more fun because you have a podcast that you can listen to on your phone while doing your work. Yay!
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you ever feel dumb, just watch NoBS's videos and feel good
you'll
about
feel
yourself.
even dumber.
Huh?
You'll feel even dumber though.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, double-edged sword. Either you'll feel smart by comparison, or you'll just end up losing IQ points from his points.
Yeah.
Remember, Loudmouth. Remember, if you attack white nationalism, you're attacking white people.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up before.
Yeah, he did. He actually said that in a video. My God, it was in his debate with PSA Stitch. Yeah.
Oh my God.
God, that was just.
Let's see. The textbook definition is judging somebody off of the basis of their skin, like how you judge white people. You're going against them. You're attacking them.
Or I remember the one where they brought up like his debate with on incest from Destiny, and he says, "You think incest is wrong?" Yeah, I do. Then I won the debate. I'm like, what? Yeah. He really is that stupid that he can't comprehend that it is possible to be right on a point and still lose a debate.
I still get a kicker out of our own outraged triggeredness over him. Well,
yeah, I just like.
By the way, I use triggeredness as a term of endearment in our cases. By the way.
Oh man,
just how an argument is put together. You create a logical argument. Let's say penguins live in Antarctica, or Antarctica is cold. Therefore, Donald Trump is president of the United States. All right,
I'm
Well,
so, and,
the end,
and I
the
hate to
end
say
point-
it.
Wait. A loudmouth is speaking, Conundrum. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
The end point is completely correct, but it doesn't follow from the premises. So you can be entirely correct, and you can and your argument can still be pure garbage.
Yeah,
So,
you cannot just be bringing up random or even loosely connected shit that does not like
yeah, if you
have a
if you actually
firm
watch the
connection.
debate, yeah, if you actually watch the debate with Destiny, Destiny wasn't really even arguing for incest. He was really just trying to test Brooks's intelligence by seeing if he
but
could
of
form
course.
an argument against it, and
Of
Brooks
course.
utterly failed miserably.
But of course, that nuance broke No Bullshit's head to a million pieces.
Yeah, he couldn't understand. He couldn't understand it. Destiny was really just trying. He was trying really hard and just speaking slowly to try to get this moron to understand him. It was just completely pointless.
I think Destiny was. There might have been an actual humble moment of Destiny actually trying to give pointers to No Bullshit, give him some experience in actually speaking logically. But Brooks was just failing it repeatedly, and then turned into an utter shit show of them two just throwing insults back and forth at each other.
And then Brooks throws a tantrum and just starts throwing insults at him. Though the best line in that debate by far is when Destiny says to him, "All I'm doing is quoting the things you said. If the things you say make you look bad, that's on you."
Yep. By the way, speaking of Destiny, if y'all haven't seen Destiny's debate against Vosh over Kyle Rittenhouse, watch it. Oh,
he just destroyed Vosh. He just laid him out.
Just remember, everybody. Mobs chase murderers.
I'll be honest. Sometimes I think No Bullshit is like a parody character.
He feels that way, doesn't he?
Always that slight possibility, but at the same time, the guy has so many moments of taking himself seriously that it becomes kind of just a little hard to tell.
Yeah, he's almost like a Poe, but it's hard to determine if he's a Poe or not.
He's not a Poe. He's genuinely a moron.
Oh my God.
I mean, he does. He did try to say that one time that he views himself as a gateway to the alt-right. Or that's not the exact words that happened. No bullshit. I'm sorry that I could not quote you verbatim on what you said. God, that was like one of the absolutely stupidest things in the Nicholas Diorio stream that he was on. Like, Nicholas Diorio was going on about how No Bullshit said in his Avengers Infinity War video, there's a suspicious amount of women characters in this movie. But Nicholas Diorio, he kept on quoting him wrong, not exact verbatim, and saying, so you think that there is a suspicious amount of female characters in this movie? And he's like, I didn't say that. Okay, and then they looked at the clip, and he said, women characters instead of female characters, because of the fact that he did not say, or I cannot remember which one it was that he used exactly, but because he did not use the exact word of women characters, he was therefore wrong in his quoting of No Bullshit. Like, apparently, he just does not grasp verbatim
of him deflecting and lying, basically.
Yeah.
That's all that is. I can't defend myself, so I'm going to try to deflect to something irrelevant.
Yeah, the old bait and switch maneuver.
Yeah, he tries to red herring his way out of every problem. When they asked him, how do you think about the alt-right? It's like, well, no, I'll ask you what you think. Like, answer the question, dumbass. Stop deflecting and answer the goddamn question. It's not a difficult question at all.
Yep. I mean, unless you really are that ignorant about the alt-right, then in that case, you can just simply answer, I don't know.
Or tell the truth that you're just piggybacking off them for subs and views.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wouldn't want to do that because a huge chunk of his subscribers are probably white nationalists, and he doesn't want to alienate them. That was what he was trying to do throughout that whole debate. He was trying his darndest to try to not alienate them, but also not take on their mantle, and he was doing a terrible job.
Oh, I love the part where he said that Bunty King doxed him.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember that. That was a couple years ago.
Wait, what happened from that?
Oh, this was funny, okay? The moron went into a public place and he fell asleep there, and Bunty King just kind of filmed him with his phone in like a convention hall. All right. And then he claimed Bunty King doxed him based on that, even though Brooks already had a large channel where he showed his face and identified himself under his true name. That was up for years, and he already linked his NoBS channel to that channel. So he'd already been a public figure and already publicly associated his name with that identity for years. Okay, he doxed himself. He was flat out lying and slandering the guy.
Then he gets on and starts crying. Bunty, I'm sorry, Bunty.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing about that apology video is he claims that he didn't have his name tag on in that video because he claims he grabbed someone else's tag and snuck in. Which, if true, if he's not lying about that, he confessed to criminal trespassing. I love how he just confessed to a crime.
I love how he called Warski's crew the Cool Kids Club.
No, it wasn't Warski's crew. It was Battening, Wasley, and someone else.
Yeah, the Cool Kids Club.
Yeah, the YouTube KKK he called them. That was probably his most. I was expecting his response to Battening's video to be bad, but I was blown away how bad it was. I'm like, wow, you undignified, lying, slandering asshole. Like there was not a single thing he said in that video that wasn't an abject lie.
Sorry, I was just reading a little bit of my Facebook right there.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting it to the point of where I soon want to end this. Let's read the few more super chats. Yeah, because I'm that big on this channel, folks. No.
Yeah.
I meant live chat comments. Mr. Merchant says, "Great wisdom is knowing you know nothing." Socrates. Hope I spelt his name correctly. Yeah, you did, Merchant. Alt right? Oh, you mean the alt wee? Okay, I understand what you mean now, Darkon. Alt wee. Yes. Anyway, so I would like to thank my podcast here, my panel here for joining me on this grand adventure. It has been a real knockout of a fun stream right here, I gotta say.
All right.
And remember, everybody, no bullshit is like a Vietnam War vet.
He's like herpes. He never goes away.
Yeah.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you all for watching. And if I do not see you next time, have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that good stuff. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.